Bonjour, je m'appelle Dr. Tin et bienvenue à French 1311, chapitre 2, leçon 7. Aujourd'hui, nous allons étudier l'adjectif en français. Hello, my name is Dr. Tin and welcome to French 1311, chapter 2, lesson 7. Today we are going to study adjectives in French. Okay. Page 50, 53. 50, 53. Les adjectifs. Okay, to begin, the adjective in French, just like the nouns, they qualify the nouns that the adjectives describe will be masculine, will be feminine, and will be plural. So the adjective will describe the noun in gender and in number, which means that if the noun, the adjective is describing, is masculine, then the adjective should be in its masculine form. If the noun is feminine, then the adjective should be in its feminine form. If the masculine and the feminine nouns become plural, then the adjectives describing them will have to be in their plural forms. Ça va? Très bien. So, let's begin by talking about le masculin et le féminin. Okay? Now you know that the pronoun il stands for he or it, right? If it's a person, then it's a he, right? It's a male. If it's a thing, then it's it. But the it will replace something in French that is masculine in gender. Alright? So il will represent something that is masculine in gender but also singular in gender. Right? Okay. Elle also is a pronoun that means she, right? Okay, a person, she, a female person. It can also replace a noun that is feminine, singular, right? And there it will mean it. It's feminine, singular. Okay, très bien. So, here, masculine, right? It represents people, masculine people that are singular, right? Or masculine things that are singular. And here we have people, right? A person that is a girl or a woman or a thing that is feminine in gender, feminine singular in gender. These are the adjectives formed for the masculine singular people or singular things. Alright? And here we have the feminine adjectives for feminine singular things or feminine singular people. Singular. Alright? Now, to begin with, let's begin with adjectives that will have e's in their masculine form. If the adjective has an e that is not pronounced, the same adjective form will be used for the feminine singular adjective. For instance, here you've seen sociable, sociable, sociable. You see that here the E is not pronounced, right? Has this kind of E. If this kind of E is ending the masculine singular adjective, the same form will be used for the feminine form. Le féminin, right? Le masculin, le féminin. Même chose, the same thing. Okay? But sometimes you just have to add an E to the masculine form of the adjective for it to become feminine singular. Alright? Adjectives like poli doesn't have this E, doesn't have E at the end, right? Poli, if the masculine singular one does not have E, then you add your E for it to change from masculine to feminine, right? So poli, poli, and you add your E. The sound is the same, but if you're writing it, don't forget you add your E to the feminine singular form. Okay, now here, third one. See, it has this E. Okay, E, accent aigu. Alright, with the acute accent on top of the E, it will behave just like the adjectives. Here, you have to add another E for it to become feminine. Here, you will pronounce the last E, right, with the accent aigu, with the accent aigu, with the acute accent. Occupé, see that the E is pronounced here sociable. You didn't hear the E, but here occupé, 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 occupé means busy, right? You have to add another E. If you have this E with the accent on top of that E, the acute accent, right? So occupé, occupé, the same sound, but you have to remember to add the E when it changes from masculin to féminin. Now, sometimes it will be the last letter in the masculine form of the adjective. If it's like that, right? Like sérieux, sérieux. The X right here will change to S before you add your E. To sérieux, sérieuse, sérieux, sérieuse. Okay? Now, when you have R at the end of the masculine adjective, the R will change to an S before you add your E. Travailleur, travailleur, travailleur means hardworking. The feminine form will have the R change to S before you add your E, right? Travailleuse, travailleuse. Okay? Now, 5. Here, we'll also have a different ending in certain adjectives, alright? Adjectives with a T, right? A T with the EUR at the end, right? Will have a different form of the feminine. Adjective masculin, the masculine form like séducteur, séducteur. The feminine form, right? Here, see the EUR before the T will change to R I-C-E, for it to become féminin. So, séducteur, séductrice, séductrice. It's the same thing here. Conservateur, conservative, right? Conservateur, conservatrice, conservatrice. Okay, so make the changes there. Okay, make the asterisk to differentiate this type of R, right, changing to S before the E. And then this types of adjectives where the endings becomes R-I-C-E for the feminine form. Séducteur, right? Séductrice. Séducteur, séductrice. Conservateur, conservatrice. Okay, alright, sometimes when the adjective, the masculine adjective has L at the end, you double the L, right? E-L, double the L before you add another L before you add your E. So formel, formel, right? Two L's before the E. Alright, the same thing with I-L, right? There too, you add another L to the masculine form, and then you add an E for it to change from the masculine singular to the feminine singular. So gentil, gentille, gentil, gentille. Two L's and an E for the feminine form. Now when the adjective, the masculine adjective, has EN at the end, now the same thing you did with the L's at the end, you do the same thing with the ENs in the masculine forms. You will double your N before you add your E. So Canadien will be Canadienne, two N's before you add your E. You add another N before you add your E. Ça va? So, Canadien, right? If you change it a little bit and you make it Italien. See the EN? For the masculine form. The feminine form, because you look at the end and they are the same. Italien, double your N before you add your E for it to be the feminine form. Italien, Italienne. Okay? Now, if the masculine singular adjective has C at the end, alright, add H-E to the masculine form for the adjective to change from the masculine to its feminine form. Franc, which means frank, right? Honest, right? If you're talking about a woman who is frank, then it will have an H before you add your E. So franc, the C is silent, and then you add your H and the E, and then you will pronounce the CH as sh, right? So franc, franche, franc, franche, franc, franche. So here, if you have an adjective like this, blanc, see, which means white. Now, if you want to say a white woman, then you add your H before you add your E, right? Okay, très bien. So, blanc, blanche. Ça va? Now, if the masculine singular adjective has F at the end, for it to become for it to change from masculin to féminin singulier, the F will change to a V before you add your E. Alright, so sportif, sportive, sportif, sportive. Alright, so singular masculine adjectives will go with singular masculine nouns, right? And then feminine singular adjectives will go with feminine singular nouns. Now, if the nouns become plural, you make sure you add your S, right? Like sociable. If you want to say they are sociable, then you add your S just like you do in English. Sociable, sociable. The sound will not change. The S will be silent. Elles sont sociables avec S. Okay, but the same pronunciation. Sociable, sociable. Okay? The same thing here. You add your S's to the masculine and the feminine forms. Now, but sometimes the masculine form, because it has X, right, will not change. Don't add another S here. Alright? Ils sont sérieux. Right? It's identical to the masculine singular form because of X. If the masculine singular adjective has S, right? Okay, let's here. Mauvais, right? Means bad. This is the masculine singular form, but you don't add another S to the masculine plural, all right? Because of the S, which is already there. The same thing here. It has X, right? So the rule is, if the masculine singular adjective has S, don't add another S, right? Or X, don't add another X. Right here you add your S, right? Here you add your S. When they become plural, right? Here you add your S. When they become plural. The same thing here. Front avec S. When they become plural, right? And then franche will have an S, right? The same sound for both the masculine singular and then the masculine plural with an S. Front, right? You see S is silent. Here is franche avec S, but the sound will remain the same. So feminine plural, elles sont, add your S. Like here, see, sérieuse become sérieuse. The sound is the same, but make sure you add your S. Sociable, S for the masculine, with the masculine singular one, for it to become plural, right? Sociable, masculine, right, with an S. Sociable, feminine with an S. Alright, the same sound. Ça va? You do the same thing here. You add your S's, right? For that, these adjectives: blanc, blanche, italien, italienne, séducteur, séductrice, conservateur, conservatrice, right? For them to become masculine plural and feminine plural. Ça va? Au revoir et à bientôt.